Hello guys, it has been a while, I know, and I really wanted to return to you with a really nice garden tour since today is the 1st of July. We're getting towards the mid of summer, and I think you are pretty interested in how everything is going on in here. But I still need a bit of time to show everything that has changed and to talk about some results. And I couldn't help but film this video because I'm actually really shocked about what is going on with the potatoes, and I wanted just to share and to talk about this since right now that is the patch that draws so much attention, and every single day I'm circling around the patch and always like having a look at that, looking at the developments. I've got a meter in my hand for a very nice reason, because I really want to measure the height of the potatoes since I can see a tiny record breaker in here. But honestly, I think that everything that is going on is because of June. June was a little bit cold and wet. We had lots of rainfall, and of course the potatoes are growing tremendously fast. But there is this scare of early blight. There are some people in our area who started noticing the first signs of blight, which is also pretty troubling since we all know that the blight appears in the second half of July and in August. So we are still on the edge of our seats and like having a look and examining the potatoes in order not to spot it. So today I'm going to spray the third time. But for now, I just wanted to show you, and probably also to show my uncle's plantation, something that you can see right behind me. And his plantation is doing pretty fine too, though there are some alarming things going on, and I'm going to show that. But let's go to my patch of potatoes. If you intend to grow high potatoes, you need to create a solid support system. Let's begin with actually measuring the highest variety. All right, so that is 1 meter and 20 centimeters in height. It's insane. And the best part is that it keeps growing. It hasn't stopped for a second. It keeps growing and growing. Just try to imagine the height of the potatoes. It's complete insanity. The smell is just something like the best flower. So another observation that I wanted to share with you is the blossom of potatoes. I have, if I remember correctly, 7 or 8 varieties in here, and every single variety blooms differently. I'm going to show the blossom up close, but you know why it's like really symbolic and important? If you travel to Belarus, there are different gift shops where you can get some things which are associated with Belarus. And I know that recently some creative people decided to make different elements of jewelry, taking the flower of potato and kind of like putting it into the jewelry, like making it in some kind of an ornament or something. I know that the technique is pretty simple, but right now I can't explain this. But I was thinking about, if I had this possibility of create something like this, I would definitely do that, because the flowers are different. All of them are so different, and they have different tints, they have different shape, they have different smell, and it's just remarkable. It's actually really easy to hide inside I mean, if you want to hide, the potatoes are the best place. I remember even a saying in the Belarusian language that if you want to find a place where to hide, especially from someone, you need to hide in the field of potatoes. It's something incredible. There are some varieties that haven't started blooming yet, and we are waiting for them, so they are going to be of early crop. And now I really wanted to talk about the Colorado beetle, since it was a very pressing issue that I started discussing in the previous vlogs. I had a pause, of course, of kind of like hand picking them. That's why my mom had to use the substance against the Colorado beetle only once. But I still feel that hand picking is the best thing. I return back, I continue doing this on a regular basis, and it's completely healthy. Even if I spot the Colorado beetles, there are only like, if we're talking about this plantation, you can find approximately 15 to 20 Colorado beetles, which is totally fine. If the number of the Colorado beetles is going to increase, they are going to eat it till the ground. And I'm going to show the example. And the example that I'm going to show is not going to be connected with my patch. We're going to move to my uncle's patch. I know that I complained a bit about the fact that he does not control the population of the Colorado beetle there, but I actually spoke with him yesterday, and I finally got the idea why. Of course, the patch is huge, but when it comes to, for example, June, he couldn't do that. Like, at some point I was looking at his patch, I was so angry. I mean, like, I saw the picture and I know that we are pretty close to each other. I saw the picture, I was so angry. I really wanted, I don't know, just to blame him for what he's doing there. But then he explained that he couldn't spray this whole field because it was rainy. And of course, like, it's no use spraying just because it rains every single day. For now, he got a spare day where it wasn't raining. He sprayed, and we're going to check the results. Usually, like, his patch of potatoes, okay, I spotted a Colorado beetle. His patch of potatoes is usually affected by blight faster than ours. And because we spray it on a regular basis, and when his potatoes are down, all of the population is moving to us, and then it's impossible to control it. So for now, his potatoes are healthy, mine are healthy, and just hoping for it to stay as beautiful as it is right now for a longer period of time. All right, let me show some alarming things that I noticed. For now, you're not going to actually get half of this terrific situation that I noticed, because just have a look at this potato plant. You can see the Colorado beetle, but it's actually only one. It's not a problem, but it was completely packed with such tiny beasts. And you can see the result. That is what is left when you miss even like a couple of weeks of not collecting the Colorado beetle. I was actually so depressed about this that I even got to this exact kind of like planting and started actually collecting them in my bottle. And I realized that it's going to be an insanity to do this. But really, I think the results are nice. I mean, that he has sprayed and everything. But as you can see, it did not affect all of them. And he said that the most problematic part of the field is the end in there, closer to the row of birches there, because they're completely eaten by the Colorado beetle. I mean, the plants. That is what we are dealing with every year, you know. And he also has the potatoes in there. Like, believe me, it's a huge field. I don't know why he needs to have that many potatoes. Believe me, like, his family is not really huge, but I don't know. That is an early variety, so it started blooming. That is the late variety, and it hasn't bloomed yet. So I hope that he's going to spray it again later on, because it just like the problem is going to remain. So did you find the blossom that you actually preferred and the one that you loved? I do have a couple of them, and yeah, I just think that it's incredible. And now I'm moving to the patch with the early crop of potatoes. So we planted that, I think, a couple of weeks earlier than the main crop. And right now we gradually get the potatoes. There is nothing tastier than taking your own potatoes in their fresh form, where you do not store them, and just like frying or boiling the potatoes with a nice juicy crunchy salad. So I'm going to do that really. I'm going to do that right now. We still do not kind of like remove the bushes. What we're doing is we are actually getting into the soil and touching a couple of potatoes and just getting them out. So it's our way of taking the first potatoes. And yeah, so I'm going to do that right now together with you. So that is basically the way you can find a potato, right? And you take it out, and that is the size. And it's still, like, I would say, closer to medium size. It can grow a lot bigger, but this whole kind of like place is slightly in the shade in comparison to the main patch, which is always under the sun. This one is in the shade for some part of the day, and that's why, like, I do not expect a huge potato. So yeah, you can see another one. It seems bigger. Yeah, it's a lot bigger. Oh my gosh, just have a look. In comparison to this one, yeah, that is actually the size for this variety. And that is an early crop variety. I really love it. It's called Meteor. Okay, let's find something else. Not removing the bush. Oh yeah, I mean, like, they're not really deep. They're on the surface, so it's a lot easier to do something like this. In truth, there aren't many of them. Okay, that's also a decent size. That's really cool. And the bush actually is really huge. You can get potatoes like in several stages out of it. Because when I plant the bush, you know that I usually put 4 potatoes, depending on the amount of sprouts, in order to form it like this. That's why one bush provides us with lots of potatoes. If you're growing potatoes too, just let me know how are your potato plants doing in the comment section. Let's keep in touch. See you soon. Take care, guys.